Greetings, sunshines and sunnies. It is I, Queen Scarlet, Pimp Sunkiss, coming at y'all right quick, right fast with a card of the day message. Now, being that I done kicked this off at the semi-end of the week, it is a Friday. This will also be a conjunction of things that we've learned and things that we were meant to pick up in this week in particular. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So we've been graced with a past life card today. And the past life card we have is dealing with authority figures. So this is directing us to look back at our childhood and to look back at our family dynamic, specifically as it concerns the elders in our family. And like I said, looking back at the things that we've experienced with authority figures throughout this week. And if you are in any type of authority, meaning if you're a parent or if you are a boss of your job, if you're the boss of your career, if you have more of a dominant functionality in your relationships with people, if you're the queen of your pack even, then that's something for you to evaluate as well. Reevaluate how you are functioning in your positions of leadership, specifically as it concerns shifting our definition of authority and releasing ourselves from titles, the prisons of titles. Whereas if you're in companionship with someone, then in your mind, based off your experiences and your environment, you may have this set list of things that you feel like you're obligated to do, being in that role to whoever you're in that role to. However, you don't have to imprison yourself to those titles. You don't have to only be a girlfriend. You don't have to only be a wife. You don't have to only be a mom. You don't have to only be a dad. You don't have to only be a manager or only be a boss or only be a business owner. Step out of your comfort zone, step out of your titles, and also be willing to allow other people to step out of their comfort zone and step out of their given roles at times as well. Because I'm picking up a specific message right now for people who are in positions of authority at their job and people who are parents. Whereas there are people who you lead, and of course you lead your kids, and there's this mindset that because you're the boss or you're the parent, you don't know how much leadway, freedom, or insight you're supposed to allow your followers, your children, your employees, your co-workers to have with you. And a better way to get a better understanding of the balance that you need is to remain teachable and engage in activities that teach you new things. So that can be reading a new book, watching a new documentary, going to a new workshop, going to a new book club, putting yourself in different environments that allow you to be a student, allow you to be the one being led. And that will bring you a form of enlightenment through experience that will give you a clearer picture of, like I said, how much leeway exactly you need to allow your followers and or your kids to have with you. Because speaking specifically to parents, yes, you are the parent. It is meant for you to lead, protect the child, be the wise one in the situation. But also your kids were given to you and brought about to you from your divine realm to teach you things as well and to enlighten you about new things about yourself, about the world, about the past, present, and future as well. So there is a certain amount of leadway. There is a certain amount of a voice that you have to allow your kids to have, a certain amount of authority, if you will, that you have to allow your kids to have in order for it to be a full, satisfactory relationship. And that is going to help your kids to be more self-sufficient and more self-loving and self-confident the more that they grow and become adults. And for people in relationships, what I'm hearing is that it's very easy when you are in a relationship with someone for a long period of time and you've been knowing them for so long, it's easy to get attached to the routines with them that you're used to, the habits that you're used to seeing them being in, like I said, the daily patterns, things of that nature, the emotional patterns and things of that nature. It's easy to kind of end up putting your partner in a mental box where you see them as how you've always seen them. But in a universal sense, everyone is going through a lot of changes. And so this type of thing can cause confusion, maybe even conflict in relationships, And for some, it can even cause breakups. But I'm not picking up breakups for people in particular that are resonating with this read. I'm not necessarily picking up on breakups. I'm more so picking up on breakthroughs. And the breakthroughs will come through not only allowing yourself to do and be more, like I said, be more than a girlfriend, be more than a wife, have something for your individual self to be free and be creative in and be liberated and multifaceted and multidimensional in. But also being patient and graceful with your partner as they are going through their own growing pains and their own changes in life. Because for some particular relationships that I'm picking up on, some of you have been used to, and you may be the dominant or you may be a submissive, but I'm picking up on dominant, submissive, dynamic relationships, whereas the person who has usually been the submissive is now starting to emerge in other areas of their life, whether it's their job, whether it's with their family, or it could just be an internal emerging that is starting to show itself outwardly and in the physical. And for the person who is the dominant in the relationship, that may be making you feel insecure, maybe making you feel a little worried or confused, or just have a lot of questions, concerns about, your placement and what their growth is going to mean for your role in their life. And if you are the person who has been more of the submissive in the relationship, this is some insight about what's going on in your partner's mind. If you've noticed that they've been kind of looking at you different or interacting with you different a little bit, or asking you certain questions that you're not used to, or things of that nature, any changes that you see in your partner, this is somewhat of a bit of an explanation for it. Is because they're just, curious about your process. And like I said, what that is going to mean for them. Where are they going to fit in your expansion of it all? And a big overall message, whether you're the people dealing with the relationship, roles, and authority of it all, or you are a boss or your parent or whatever, what have you. Overall, the grand consensus of this read is about letting yourself go beyond what you think or what you've been told you are supposed to do. And allowing yourself to be present and grateful and open to how things are right this moment and right in this cycle. And don't obsess over outcomes. However, what you want your outcome to be, start pouring that energy into yourself and into your loved ones and into your everyday activities right now. The energy is fertile. So what you pour into the energy right now is going to multiply and show itself in the outcome, even if it's not exactly what you expected. The outcome, that is. The outcome may not be exactly what you expected, but if you pour into the energy, yourself, your relationships, and all of that right now, what you want the outcome to be, you're going to make it that much greater for yourself. And like I said, it may not be how you want it, but it will indeed be divine design. And then some, because you will have actively played a part in assisting your divine realm with blessing you and growing you and redirecting you and emerging you, hunty. And that is called authority over self empowerment. And I know you see that other card there that says, get your head out of your ass pronto. That card is simply an elaboration for the authority figures card. And that's basically just, a affirming and reiteration of what I just said about releasing your grasp on the outcomes and allowing yourself to step out of your comfort zone and step out of your roles. The emphasis on the liberation of it all. And speaking of emphasis on liberation, child, I have milked this cow dry. And I appreciate this exchange of vibes, and I hope it all synchronized. And if it does, please do your best to like, share, and come on back through for the next time. And be sure to bless my comment section with your questions and conversations. And as always, I bid you all light, love, healing, and liberation. Emphasis on liberation. Mwah.